Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Tomcat Stitchery. I'm Whitney and today we have a little bit different kind of video today. This is one that Jenny and I have been actually researching for a little bit, and especially Jenny. So I'm really excited to bring this video to you guys. But basically we're going to be talking about dead stock fabric. If you are aware, we're in the, obviously I'm sure you're aware we're in the month of April. However, that's Earth Month, which is just a great time to kind of reflect on ways that we can maybe be just a little bit better stewards of our Earth. I mean, there's always little things that we can do. Is anything ever going to be perfect? No. So we just try and do little things, right? Like as much as we can to be good stewards. And April's just a good reminder, I guess, to make sure, maybe tweaking a couple of things, but, just making sure that we're being conscious of being a little bit more, a little bit better stewards of this wonderful Earth that we live on. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about dead stock fabric, and in my opinion, that's one way that as seamstresses, as sewers, as sewists, we can help decrease, even if it's just a little bit, help decrease a little bit of the textile and, well, garment pollution and waste that happens in our world on a grand scale, really. Yeah. And I understand that none of this is perfect and that we are still, these are still, new fabrics and that sort of thing. But it's a way to help our impact on the environment. So that's what we're going for here. Good, not perfect. It's the mantra here at Tomcat Stitchery. All right, so let's talk a little bit about what dead stock fabric is. This could be a new term to you and you just might not be familiar with what this even means. So dead stock fabric is fabric that is left over from fashion designers and the garment manufacturers. So for instance, if a fashion designer orders, so many yards of a certain fabric for their line, and let's say of the I don't know, 100 rolls that they ordered of this fabric, 5 of them are maybe just a little bit different shade of purple. Well, they can't use them because the line needs to be consistent all the way through. So even though those 5 rolls of fabric are still excellent shape and they're fine, they're just a little bit darker or lighter color than the rest, that would be dead stock fabric. That would be fabric that fashion designer would hopefully be selling off to jobbers that would then get in the hands of other people that might want to use it, whether that be smaller fashion designers or home sewists or whatever that might be. It can also be if a fashion designer or a garment manufacturer orders, so many yards of a certain kind of fabric, then they end up not needing as much because maybe they decide not to make as many of those items or whatever it might be, or they just have some leftover. That is also dead stock fabric that can then, again, go back into the industry through jobbers to go to smaller fashion designers, to us, that sort of thing. So that's what dead stock fabric is. It is a great way often to get some really quality fabric at some great prices. If a designer has, 5 rolls of this fabric left over, and maybe it's a really nice fabric, but they just want to, get rid of it, then the person buying it from them might get a very excellent price on that and then pass that off on to us, which can be a great way to get some really quality fabric, again, for excellent prices. It's also a good chance to get some unique fabrics, right? So fashion designers, they may have some prints and stuff like that they're using for their lines, and you may be able to get your hands on some of that. And it's not going to be like, I don't know, some of the designer fabrics that we can get where, they're just keep printing more and more. So it's real easy to find that certain print that you love, which is fine. But it could be a way to find some really special pieces that you may not see anywhere else, and get some really cool, unique fabrics. That's my favorite part of it, is the hunt and then finding some really cool, unique fabrics that you may not be able to find elsewhere. I think that's really, really cool. Okay, so the other thing is, because a lot of times when the person goes in or to grab the fabric, they're limited quantities. Once they're gone, they're gone. So the important thing to remember when shopping any kind of dead stock fabric is that you need to grab it when you see it. Don't hem and haw too long, because most of the time, once it's sold out, it's gone. So that is something that you gotta keep in mind. And I think that thrills me on my the thrifting side of me, because it's about the hunt, right? And finding something and then grabbing it when you see it, because you know next time you go back to the thrift store, it's probably not going to be there. That kind of mentality that, yeah, I get into that a lot. As you know, Jenny and I are big fans of doing some thrifting. Okay, so why would we want to use Deadstock fabric? Apart from the things that I just listed, it does help reduce some of the waste in the garment and textile industry, because if these manufacturers or large designers or whatever can't get rid of this fabric, they do go into the trash. And that is, number one, really sad. That makes me so sad. But that you're keeping it from doing that, from going into the landfills and that sort of thing. So that's a reason why you may want to look at Deadstock fabric. Okay, so now that we know a little bit about Deadstock fabric, how do we get our hands on some Deadstock fabric? I'm sure if you do any kind of online shopping with any of the more independent fabric stores, you'll a lot of times see that there are tons of fabric stores that offer Deadstock options. They may offer some Deadstock, some more steady lines, which there's a lot to be said for that. I like a good steady line that I know the quality of the fabric that I can get when I'm wanting to make something certain. But there's some fabric companies that kind of carry a range of fabric types, but a lot of independent fabric stores carry some Deadstock options. My biggest suggestion on this is to join any fabric store that you're interested in, join their newsletter, because a lot of times, you'll get an email that'll be like, oh, we've just had a Deadstock drop, go take a look. Because again, those fabrics are usually limited quantities, can't get them again, so they'll sell out pretty quickly. So that is a great way to find out who is selling the Deadstock and when that stuff is available. However, for the sake of this video, we have tracked down 3 independent fabric shops, and we talked to all 3 of them, who are primarily, if not completely, Deadstock focused. And we've grabbed them from 3 different countries to help you out a little bit. We don't have anyone from Australia for this video, but I know that there are some down there that are selling Deadstock fabrics. So let me know down in the comments below who some of your favorites are, so that other people can see that as well and know if you are in Australia, New Zealand, some local to you shops that might be a little bit less expensive shipping. Again, all 3 of these options have online stores, so you can order from anywhere in the world to get these fabrics, but sometimes international shipping can be a little bit, and exchange rates can be a little bit cost prohibitive as well. So that's why I have picked 3 stores in 3 different countries to kind of help with that a little bit. Okay, let's dig into them. So the first fabric company that we talked to a little bit, and we actually talked to these fabric companies, which was really fun, was Sewing Studio. So Sewing Studio is a U.S. company, and they are located in Oregon. They are an online shop only, but so much fun to go and take a look at what they've got. I've got my eyes on a few things right now. They just had a whole bunch of cottons that came out, but they still have some wool jersey that was not that long ago that I'm keeping my eyes on a couple. And again, I need to bite the bullet, because if I don't, it's going to sell out and I'll never be able to get it. But I am trying to be very mindful of my purchases, because that defeats the purpose if I'm just shopping willy-nilly. But she's got some really cool and really beautiful stuff over on her site. All 3 of these shops, go take a look, because they all 3 have some really unique and cool stuff. Like I said before, we talked to Carlene over there, and she mentioned she does do some swatch services. However, by the time you get a swatch, usually the fabric is sold out. So her biggest recommendation here was, if you see something you love, grab it before it's gone. She's very particular in picking fabrics that she would really love to sew with. So she's not taking just any Deadstock. She is being very particular about selecting which Deadstocks she's bringing into her shop, and making sure that they're really high quality. So that's also something really good. She was a delight to talk to. These are all 3 small businesses, which I also really love to chat with, and women-owned small businesses, actually. So that's always really fun to chat with people as well, and find out a little bit about their business model. And I have coupon codes for all 3 of these stores, which was so generous of all 3 of them to give to my viewers. But with the code, I have my codes written down here so I don't forget what they are. So for Sewing Studio, with the code Tomcat15, you get 15% off your order from now, one time. So not continually. You get your 15% off your order between now and the end of the year. So the end of 2024, which is really cool. So one purchase, you can get that between now and the end of the year, which is so generous. And I mean, go take a look at some of the stuff. Again, there's some really beautiful stuff there. Like I mentioned, she is online only. However, sign up for her newsletter. She does some fantastic sales. So for her newsletter subscribers, she lets you know first before, she has a new drop of fabric every single week, but she lets the newsletter subscribers know first. And I think there's a discount that comes in those newsletters. And then on Mondays, she does her Manic Monday sales, which includes remnants. So, and usually not a ton, like maybe there'll be 10 or 12 remnants that'll be there. And they go quick. I mean, I'm talking by the time I've opened them on Monday morning, a lot of times she's almost all sold out on those remnants. But then she also highlights each week 4 fabrics that she's got more yardage of. They're not remnants. They're just 4 of the fabrics in the shop that she'll have at a discount. So the Manic Monday sales are a lot of fun, and by being a newsletter subscriber, she lets you know what those fabrics are and, how to get them. You can go onto the website and look at Manic Monday to see what's on there. But if you want to be the first to get your hands on things, that is a great thing to be one of her newsletter subscribers. I'm one of the newsletter subscribers. I signed up for that. And you just get the weekly emails. So, I guess twice a week. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. Okay. So that is the US store. Number 2 for my UK viewers, and again, all of these places ship internationally. It just can get a little expensive with exchange rates and shipping and that sort of thing, is the new Crafthouse. And I have ordered from them a couple of times as well and gotten some really cool fabrics, again, for probably less than what I would be paying for them brand new, which is very exciting. They also have a code for us that is Earth Month 10. Yes, that is correct. And that'll get you 10% off your first order between now and the end of the month. So just through April 30th, 2024, you can use that code to get 10% off your order, which is super cool. And if you're in the UK, they have a standard shipping of just 3.5 pounds is all it costs to ship fabric within the UK. It's more expensive for international, obviously, but it's a really great price if you are UK located. I have been able to find some really beautiful silk there. I've ordered a few different pieces of silk from them. I've ordered a really cool looking wool from them that is, I showed you guys, that has like a snake print on it that I haven't decided what I'm going to use that for yet. I also got a really cool, it's a silk, and then I also got the matching lining that's a cotton in my macaroni and cheese color. I should call that something else, mango or marigold or something. But when I was shopping with my sister for her birthday in the middle of March, I was in Anthropologie, and I just very rarely am actually in stores. And that color was in quite a few different spots. And so I was eyeing a couple of the blouses that they had and thinking, oh my gosh, I could use that fabric. So stay tuned on that. I'll probably be sewing up one of those things a little sooner rather than later. But yeah, they've got really beautiful things and a huge selection. At Christmas time, they had taken in a whole bunch of chainmail. So it was like these panels of metal, like chainmail, like you would think of for that a knight would wear. But they had instructions for how to attach them together to create like a dress, like you would line it, but how to do that. And how to attach it. It was really cool. They had a whole bunch of instructions and stuff, videos and that sort of thing on what to do with it. But yeah, they get some really cool stuff like that in there, some unexpected type of textiles and that sort of thing over there. So definitely want to go take a look. And if you're in the area, they are open for in-person shopping on occasion. And I know that they offer classes in their space as well, and other events. So definitely you're going to want to be a newsletter subscriber for them, especially if you live close, if you live in the UK or live close to where they're located. It might be definitely worth it to be part of that newsletter so you could take some classes or go to some of the events that are there. They did the prom, no. do they do the dressmaker's ball? I feel like maybe they do the dressmaker's ball or like a prom of some sort. Anyway, I remember seeing tons of pictures of some really beautiful outfits and really cool stuff that they did there at the new Crafthouse as well. So yeah, go use that coupon and have a look. And again, as with all three of these, definitely join their newsletters because it'd be worth it just to see the new stuff that's coming in and to be alerted when those come in so that you can pop over there and see if there's anything you can't live without. Okay. And then the third shop that we talked with is a Canadian shop, FabCycle, and she is in Vancouver there in Canada. We talked to Arena for quite a while, and she gave us a little virtual tour of her shop. Oh my God, it is so cool. So they're online shop, but you can go in for in-person shopping there Wednesdays through Fridays. There's like a set amount of hours there to actually go in person and shop. So if you're in the Vancouver area or gonna be, I would recommend it because again, we got to take a little virtual tour while we were talking with her. She showed us everything Jenny, the whole time when we were doing this little tour, Jenny's sitting next to me and she's like, oh, I just want to get in there and dig. Because that's exactly like, the vibe. You just want to get in there and dig and see what kind of treasures you can find. And again, that's the thrifting in us that kind of comes out with that sort of thing. She also has a very generous code for us. Tomcat is going to get you 15% off your order, and so generous, and we thank them so much. So go have a look. They also accept donations. So if you're in Canada and you've got some beautiful stuff that you're just not going to use, she does accept donations there at FabCycle, and then obviously you can shop other people's donations and see what kind of cool stuff is there. She also has collects business waste. So while we were taking a look and getting a little tour there of their shop, they had just received a shipment of a whole bunch of old airplane seat covers. So, and they're real leather. So like old airplane seat covers. So clearly an airline was scrapping some of their planes, like really old planes. Cause how long ago would that have been to use real leather for like the airplane seat covers and stuff? But she had a whole bunch of this is a really beautiful stitching she was showing us that you could cut up and use for other projects and all sorts of things. But that's just kind of an example of some of the stuff that they come in. So they get some really interesting things in as well that might be a lot of fun to play with, especially if you are, if you are a art student of some sort and working with textiles, like that would be a great place to find some unexpected materials to use in any kind of project that you might be doing. Very cool. Let's see, and what else? Yes, and then obviously online and in person. I would join their newsletter as well, just because, again, you want to find out when all the deals are coming and when new stuff has come in so that you don't miss any treasures. She showed us one fabric that she had, and I think that this fabric came from a couple that were downsizing, and I think she had said they had an upholstery business maybe before, so they had some like upholstery weight fabric, which obviously you can use for pants and skirts and stuff, but stuff from like the 70s, like the prints that were on some of these upholstery fabrics were so good, so good. And she was showing us a few of those. Yeah. And I think she said that someone had made pants out of one of them that she showed us. Anyway, a lot of fun and worth doing a little social media dive as well and seeing what people are making with some of this really cool Deadstock fabrics. Okay. If you are interested, because again, I said Jenny and I did a lot of research for this video. If you are interested in learning more about Deadstock fabric and what that means, and even just the difference in, is this green or is it green washing? Meaning, is it something that is pretending to be green but isn't really green? Meaning, like sustainable and good for the environment, that sort of thing. There was a little article about that. But Jenny has done some really excellent research, and I've got some articles, and I'm going to link them. I'm going to put them in the description box down below if you'd like to read a little bit more. But just a reminder that there are some ways that when we're doing our fabric shopping that we can be just a little bit more cognizant of what we are consuming in our craft and in everything else. And, are we going to be perfect? No. But that's okay. Any little bit helps. Also, don't forget thrifting your fabric. Places like Destashify, or even like FabCycle takes donations too. State sales, any of those type of things. Just places where you can grab textiles that are already out there existing and using those instead of the new stuff that is being created. So just a way to, number one, it's fun because you are digging and hunting and finding things that are a little bit more unique. And number two, yeah, it's just a way to keep things out of the landfills that might otherwise head that way. So there we have it, guys. I hope you found this interesting. Like I said, Jenny and I had a lot of fun researching this and found it quite interesting to put this together. Videos going forward. Okay, on Friday, I have got my week's worth of, we're going to be talking about my spring capsule wardrobe and how I'm wearing that. It'll be my week's worth of outfits. What I'm finding about my spring wardrobe, I'm going to clue you in. It's all about the color. This is a new cardigan that I bought. Isn't this wonderful? Look at the two different colors. It's a Farm Rio. You guys know how I feel about Farm Rio. I love pulling inspiration from that brand. And I saw this when I was shopping with my sister for her birthday and just couldn't resist. And so this is my, I love the two different like sleeves and the two different sides that are the different colors. Anyway. We'll be talking all about my spring capsule and how that's going and all of that on Friday. And then I've got some really fun and exciting things coming up in April as well. Just a little bit of a hint, we might be having a new class that is going to be going out into the wild this month, maybe, which is really exciting. Maybe sooner rather than later. It's a new class that I've been working on that I'm very excited about. We've even hired an editor for this one, so we are upping the game here at Tomcat Stitchery. But yes, we've got, and then some other fun collaborations that I'm working with in the background as well that we're going to be having popping up in April here on the channel. So lots of fun and exciting things. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. I hope the weather is changing and is beautiful wherever you are, whether it's going into spring or fall, depending on the hemisphere where you are located. And yeah, I'll see you guys on Friday. Get some sewing in this week, and I'll see you then. Bye.